thing like that big or something.
Yeah, exactly.
The platform, you know, you guys touched on it a little bit, but what is it ultimately? What is it? I know already, obviously, but you know, for those listening and watching, what is it exactly that the platform is and does?
Yeah, so I think to explain it better, it's more about what happened when Nico helped me. It's basically, so when I started streaming in 2020, I thought so it would be just a nice fun things to do, but actually first everything around streaming is pushing you to watch out like for numbers, for growth, for everything. Like it shouldn't just be a hobby for them. It's more like you have to pursue this goal where if you don't have engagement, if you don't have people to talk with during your stream, you're kind of failing. And so I was kind of feeling this kind of heavily. And so I just called him and said, like, okay, you know way better than me, so can you just help me around and we'll try to see how it works. And what Nico did is just like he jumped on my stream every time and was streaming and just chat with me and the viewers that were coming along while I was streaming. And just by doing that, which seems like just a simple element, it basically unlocked everything. People were staying longer, they were having more chats. I had more energy while I was streaming because you will have someone who is going to respond to you if you say something, which is not usually the case when you start streaming. And so having this kind of back and forth and having this dynamic in chat really like unlock everything for me. And I was able to start building up a community about what I was doing. And so having some people coming regularly, and so you kind of create links. And so it helped everything, having more people connecting with networks, so helping other streamers to know about my stream, and so they were rating me at the time and helped me grow, but in more like sustainable way. And when basically he wanted to take a step back because I was streaming a bit, let's say 3 times a week for 2 or 3 hours, was a bit of like a lot of commitment. The idea was, okay, but maybe can we just do that, but with an AI? And looking at the technologies that we had available at that time, so in 2022, in July, so last year, it was actually possible to replicate what Nicolas was doing directly in the chat by making sure that the AI was able to interact with multiple persons at the same time, and also with the streamer through different ways to understand the audio. And so Alicia is basically kind of having your friend in the chat who's going to join every time you stream, and she's going to interact with you and your viewers to keep like the chat engaged and having this form of kind of safety nets. Whenever you're streaming, you know that Alicia is going to be there.
I'll just share it on the screen as well so people can see. So NovaSquare.io is where people can go. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say the big difference between Alicia and Nico is that Alicia is actually customizable, which Nico is not.
Right. So Alicia's not as stubborn.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what basically you're saying. That's what you said. I didn't say that. That's what you said.
You can make her stubborn. For example, one of the features that we added recently is the fact that you can use commands. So if you see like my background, like I can change the lights through different commands in my chat. And so we basically gave her the ability to use this type of commands. But depending on the personality that you give to Alicia, she will or will not use them. Like I will be in stream and say, hey, Alicia, can you change the lights to blue? And she'll say, or maybe you can just do it yourself. And just a few messages later, she's going to change it to red and say, happy now? And I'm like, okay.
So you basically gave her an attitude.
Yeah. She has a very strong attitude.
Wow.
It really, again, it depends on what you want as a streamer, but I like the grumpiness, the sarcastic kind of vibes. So it works well in my stream, but there is other people who prefer like very supportive, where she's going to do everything that they ask. But we're kind of going in a way where she has her own mind on that and decide whether or not she wants to do things. So it's
pretty cool. Well, I mean, it adds the element, I suppose, which is so important in community building, which is the injection of personality, because you can't really, you know, if it was just a bot, just another bot, because I know there are already bots that exist for these sort of platforms, then it's just not going to engage people in the same way. I mean, like you said, from the very early stages of your stream, if Nico joining was useful because it was getting people to stick around and engaging in chats, then presumably that was because of both your personality and Nico's personality in that. If it was just, hey guys, what do you eat for breakfast? You know, it would be a bit like, you know, okay, this is a bit boring, let's go somewhere else kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
It's a dynamic. It's a dynamic between like the co-animation or the companion that you will have in your chat that's going to make it work. So definitely,
well, I mean, it's super interesting. So you said earlier, just before Nico joined, that you've got, you've had another great day of people joining up. So tell us about where you're at with it. What that's training. But when did it start again? Last year, you said you were building it, but it launched fairly recently, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the MVP, I would say, was August 2022.
Right.
End of August 2022, we had like a first streamer who requested to try on their chats, trying it, which was a literal disaster.
Oh, no. Why was it a disaster? What happened?
So it's basically on Twitch you have emotes. Like it's a word that's going to be replaced by something nice in chats, which we didn't really plan well because I was not using that type of thing on my channel, and it has been built for my channel. So when it happened live, she literally lost it. Like Alicia was just all over the place, not understanding what was happening in chat, and so it was a mess. And so we had to kind of shut her down during the stream and say, like, okay, sorry, we'll just take it back and we'll rework that. We got around there eventually, but it was one of the first try we did. And after working with Nico for a few weeks, even month, we got the first alpha in mid-December 2022. Yeah. We got a lot of different streamers coming along from different communities as well, because I'm from the music community, but on Twitch is not the main one. So we kind of got the feedback from different communities as well. And from there, we launched the beta 1st of March. And got first paying customer in the same week, and then we were having more and more people joining the Discord, so our community, plus some people like getting the subscription as well, giving us feedback. I mean, at that time it was really impressive for us to get that many customers coming on the platform, because the platform was just a literal joke.
Yeah, I think we have a fun story around these first customers. We had a streamer that was alpha testing the product for us. And like, you had many people that were watching us from there and like, oh, it looks nice. And so one guy said, yeah, it looks nice. You know what? I'm going to subscribe. And so we were happy to launch our product officially and to start trying to see if the people would buy it. And so someone buys it and like, okay, well, we're very happy, but we feel kind of scared because will it work?
Yeah.
The platform was very unstable because it was very early stage.
Yeah.
And so what we would do, because of course it was a US customer, so very unfriendly time zone for the UK.
Yeah.
I would put my alarm at 2 a.m. and go watch a stream from 2 to 4, go back to sleep, and then wake up at 8 for my normal job to make sure that one, she would join the stream when it started, because we were not sure it would happen. And then look at the interaction to see, is it going well? And I must say, the first couple of times, it was not working super well. And I was feeling really upset to wake up at 2 a.m. to see our product not working well. But this person is still with us today, so I guess
really?
It's insane.
But I mean, I suppose that's the thing. Like, that's the thing people don't tell you, right, about software startups is the first sale. While you always remember it, it is the most stressful thing, because you're like, I'm not sure if I want them to pay for this. Like, the expectation's too high.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as long as there's transparency and they understand it's new, it's a work in progress, and everyone's on the same page, people can be very forgiving.
Yeah.
Because they're the early adopters. They're forward thinking. They're thinking, okay, it might not work perfectly now, but when it does, I'm going to have the edge, and it solves a problem for me. So, yeah, you've just got to have faith, haven't you? But it's it's a bit difficult, isn't it?
The Founders Unplugged podcast, hosted by Greg McCallum. Raw, uncensored conversations with startup founders.